Hello everyone. Right, I thought today I'm going to put my makeup on while I'm talking to you about my recent edit on my Scottish Highland trip, day 3 and day 4. Now, this was, I think the first day, I was going to put some BB cream on, is when I went to Fort William. And it was a rainy day, so I couldn't go really out walking. So I literally spent 3 hours in Morrison's, drinking cups of coffee, had a breakfast obviously because I can't say no to food, can I? And charging up my phone and my power bank, which was only a small one at the time. Because I was in Berlingo, you don't get much, I don't have a leisure battery. I didn't have any lights either. So it was paramount that I got the power bank charged up, because I knew as I further got up into the Highlands, I would probably have difficulty in charging things up, and having no service on the phone either. I mean, that's when you know you're in the remote when there is no service. I just put the BB cream on. So 3 hours spent in Morrison's, and then I went for a little wander around Fort William in the drizzly rain, and then it stopped, and I went and drove up to Mallaig. Oh, I just need to get rid of that. So the road that leads out of Fort William to Mallaig is actually quite spectacular. You get the real sense of being in the Highlands of Scotland when you're up that end. And so I thought, you know what, I might find a parking spot in Mallaig. Got there, to be honest, I wasn't too impressed. It was quite, I don't know, not built up, but it was fairly busy, and I wasn't looking for a busy place. I wanted something quite remote. So I just went off wandering in Berlingo, went up the coastal road to Morar and found a parking spot over there, which was perfect because it was fairly safe. It was right by the lock and by the midgies. This is where I got my first taste of how bad the bastards are. The thing is, because of the midgies, you have to walk fairly fast to like avoid them. So I was walking around, and being like late summer, the days are quite long up in Scotland. I don't think it was getting dark until about 10 o'clock, 10:30. And sitting in Berlingo was not an option because it's too claustrophobic. So I tried to stay out as much as I could with my headphones on, walking out and about until it got reasonably sort of dusky, and then I went back into Berlingo. And having no service on the phone, sorry, my phone keeps going off, having no service in the phone meant that I had to read a book. But that parking spot in Morar was probably, oh my god, it was so beautiful because you had the lock, you had the mountains in the background. It was just a perfect setting, the peace and the quiet. I was very fortunate to find that. It was my first time like doing a wild kind of spot, quite remote. And in the morning, yeah, I heard a sudden thud against the car. I thought, fuck, what's that? And it was just a sheep. So I got used to the idea that there are going to be animals coming up close to Berlingo and hitting it, so I shouldn't be frightened. So you have to like level it in your head a little bit, you know. There is no monsters out there. I had that little battery operated UFO kind of a light. That's the only light I had in Berlingo. So I think, oh, what the hell was I talking about? That battery operated UFO light was pants, really, to be honest. Didn't really give me that much of light to be able to read a book or anything, but I had to do. So I was so glad when I got flare I could put everything in. I mean, I could have done the same. I mean, I had fairy lights in Berlingo, but I needed a hookup for them to work. And the best thing is that bucket with a lid. Oh my god, that's a game changer. Honestly. It eradicated the idea that I needed to find a toilet. I had to put this eyeliner. It's always the hardest bit to do. So I had a decent sleep. I managed to have at least 8 hours, which is about right for me. Ooh, that's turned out rather nice. And then I woke up in the morning and actually used the chuck box and made myself a breakfast, which is quite unusual because normally I just go for a breakfast bar. And then we headed up the road again, heading to Skye. Now, I made a point to stop at all the heritage walks along the way, just to stretch your legs, because it is quite a drive, a long stretch. Oh God, I really messed that one up. So this is going to get really messy. So I just stopped at all the heritage walks that you get along route, just to get the legs working. And I really suggest that you do, because you do find some magical ones. So off I headed to Skye. So I got over to Skye. It was quite a windy day, and I went to Mount Store. Oh my God, that was just so beautiful. It's quite a walk up. I don't know if it's a mile up. I mean, it's quite steep. And the views that you got from there were amazing, far-reaching out into the sea with loads of dotted islands around. It was just so beautiful to observe. But it was rather windy. I mean, proper windy. I walked along a path along the mountain, and then I swear down, I nearly got blown off. It was quite scary. So soon backed round the corner and the wind died down. So I must have spent about 2-3 hours up on Mountain Store, just observing, taking videos, doing my normal shit that I normally do when I'm up there. Got back into Berlingo, and I really dearly wanted to have a pub dinner, because I was starving by this point and I didn't really want to cook. So I went to look for a pub. I think it was too late. They're all closing down, and the weather was turning. It was getting quite rainy and very, very, very windy. And I managed to find one, which was really lucky. And it was in a beautiful spot. It was up in, I think, a little parking place. I don't know what it was. And not far from Mountain Store. Parked up there overnight. And boy, did Berlingo rock. I was actually a little bit scared, but I knew in my head that I wasn't too near the edge that the Berlingo would be like blown over into the sea, because that was my worry. I think, what happens if she gets blown over into the sea? But I had to logically think about it. I mean, I've got a 2-ton vehicle here. It's going to take a lot of wind to get that into the sea. I think at this time, by day 3, I was getting quite used to the idea of being on my own, travelling around. I was quite enjoying it, because I could just go off on my walks, do the hell what I wanted in beautiful scenery. It's my dream, you know, to listen to good music and dance in scenic spots. You know, that's what I love. I always wanted to be an Indian background dancer in a film. That's what I always wanted to be, and I was reliving it. Strutting out all those moves while I was on top of those mountains. So the music list that I've got, I am actually editing these videos just with this lipstick on, and then I can talk to you. And it's just not my usual colour. Normally I just use pink. Let's do the hair. Let's fluff the hair up a bit. Yeah, that's a bit better. My hair's looking rather blue in this camera. The music, the song that I've chosen to this video is, I have to read it because my memory's pants, is Blue Jeans by Jubel. I'll leave the link down below. Also the link to the 2 videos that I've used to make this 1-minute video is called, did I just say that? Blue Jeans Jubel. I hope you enjoy it. It's just a quick edit, and everything else is fine. I'm doing good. I don't know if you know, I've got the Oculus, so I've been spending a lot of time on the Oculus, and I'll probably release a few videos on my little adventures in that. So bye now, and I hope everyone's well.